Hello and welcome back. In this blackexcellist presentation, we will highlight Ernest Everett Just, American biologist, educator, and innovator. So without further ado, let's get started.
Welcome to blackexcellist.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
Just was born on August 14, 1883 in Charleston, South Carolina, to Charles Frazier and Mary Matthews Just. His father died in 1887, and soon after, the Just family moved to James Island, off the coast of South Carolina. His early education consisted of attending the small school that his mother founded and directed. Just left James Island at the age of 12 to attend what is now South Carolina State College. In 1899, Just graduated at only 15 years old, with a certification allowing him to teach in any black school in South Carolina. An intelligent and inquisitive student, Just was not interested in teaching as a career, so he traveled north and started his studies at Kimball Union Academy in New Hampshire before enrolling at Dartmouth College, studying biology, history, literature, and the classics. It was during his university years that Just discovered an interest in biology after reading a paper on fertilization and egg development. This bright young man graduated as the sole magna cum laude student in 1907, also receiving honors in botany, sociology, and history. Just's first job out of college was as an English teacher and researcher at the HBCU, Howard University. Later in 1909, he worked in research at Woods Hole Marine Biological Laboratory in Massachusetts. Just furthered his education by obtaining a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Chicago, where he studied experimental embryology and graduated magna cum laude. He was asked to take over the biology department and teach physiology in 1910, in addition to his English teaching duties. Soon after, Just became the first head of the new Department of Zoology and gave up teaching English courses. Just went on to pioneer many areas on the physiology of development, including fertilization, experimental parthenogenesis, hydration, cell division, dehydration in living cells, and ultraviolet carcinogenic radiation effects on cells. Just focused his interest on marine invertebrate eggs, both in the laboratory and in their natural setting. Because of his tacit knowledge of how marine invertebrates reproduced in oceans and estuaries, Just was able to closely match his laboratory environment to that of the organism's natural environment. Just also served as editor of 3 scholarly periodicals, and in 1915 won the NAACP's first Spin Garn Medal for outstanding achievement by a Black American. From 1920 to 1931, he was a Julius Rosenwald Fellow in Biology of the National Research Council, a position that provided him the chance to work in Europe when racial discrimination hindered his opportunities in the United States. During this time, Just penned many research papers, including the 1924 publication General Cytology, which he co-authored with respected scientists from Princeton University, the University of Chicago, the National Academy of Sciences, and the Marine Biological Laboratory. With little hope of ever being able to teach anywhere but a black college, and his continued failure to secure research funds, Just went to Europe in 1938 with the intent of leaving Howard and finishing out his research career on a new continent. Later in 1939, he published 2 books reflecting on his holistic view of eggs and embryos. That is, eggs are to be taken seriously in their own right, rather than seen simply as tools to manipulate in order to prove a theory. While Just's experiments may have been simple, he was an intense perfectionist when it came to laboratory procedure. His ability to keep laboratory environments similar to actual marine environments aided in the integrity of his research. It also led to his lifelong criticism of experimental embryologists who failed to appreciate his tacit knowledge about inducing marine invertebrate reproduction. To Just, too many embryologists were busy taking eggs out of natural environments and subjecting them to unnatural manipulations, while ignoring the importance of the egg's environment as an important factor in development. The Nazi invasion of France in 1940 forced Just to return to the U.S. and Howard University, one of the few institutions at the time that would hire a black scientist. His attempts to re-career again in the United States was short-lived, however, but Ernest Just was always held in high esteem within the science field. Notable black scientist Charles Drew called Just a biologist of unusual skill and the greatest of our original thinkers in the field. Just married high school teacher Ethel Highwarden on June 26, 1912, and together they had 3 children before divorcing in 1939. That same year, Just married Hedwig Schnitzler, a physiology student he had met in Berlin. In fact, during the Nazi invasion of France, Just was imprisoned briefly in a camp, but with the help of his wife's father, he was released. After making their way out of France, the couple gave birth to a daughter. Just's legacy of accomplishments followed him long after his death on October 27, 1941, when he passed away of pancreatic cancer in Washington, D.C. He is buried at the Lincoln Memorial Center in Suitland, Maryland. We salute you, sir, and will continue to celebrate your accomplishments and contributions to science.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.